you coached with Utah, so you understand Utah, BYU, that sort of rivalry. Mm-hmm. Last year's win, did that kind of resurrect a Utah State-BYU rivalry?
Well, it was one of our goals when we came in as a staff and talked about it as a team. And yeah, it can't be a rivalry if it's one team wins all the time and it's completely lopsided. And obviously this rivalry has been lopsided. So when we walked in, we didn't really see it as a rivalry. We saw it as an in-state game and a very important game for Utah State. And I don't know how much importance it had for BYU, but after we're able to get a victory, I'm sure it has a little bit more importance for both teams. So it was definitely a step in the right direction for our program, and it was a big victory. What
steps have you seen the program take since you came in as the head coach?
Well, I would say one thing is we're becoming more competitive on a week in and week out basis. I believe we're respected by our opponents. I think people are watching us on film. They're seeing us getting better. We've had a couple tough losses this year, and there's no way around that. But I think that we've gained a lot of respect in the state of Utah from a recruiting standpoint. I truly believe that now there's 3 options for young men in the state of Utah to go to, and Utah State is one of those 3. And Utah and BYU are quality institutions with winning traditions, and it's hard to break down those doors, and it's hard to change a culture that hasn't won for a long time. But we're working hard at it to get it turned.
You're 2 special teams plays away from being 3-0. Mm-hmm. Is that disheartening that you're 1-2, or are you have a positive outlook for the rest of the season?
No, we have a positive outlook, but it is disheartening. It's very hard, difficult losses. There's no way to spin it. You can't. There is just no, we're getting better and that's okay, guys, and that's not where this team is. This team expects to play well every single week, and so it was, it definitely was a setback, and there was some hard Sundays and hard Mondays to be able to deal with, but you got to bounce back, and that's just where we are right now. I mean, that is the bottom line. It's not where we want to be. It's not where the fans want us to be. Everybody that's involved with Utah State football in any way, shape, or form, obviously we want this thing to flip and get ourselves in position to get to bowl games and compete for championships and all that. But it's where we are right now, and we're 1-2. There's the whole season left to play. We've lost to 2 teams that are both 3-1 at this point, so they've won some football games, and we'll see.
And a defending national champion at that.
National champs. So, it was tough losses, but we need to have tough losses, and we need to learn from them. We're not just going to forget about them. It's not where we're at. We have to keep them in the back of our head, move on, but we have to learn from them.
Do you expect this team to go to a bowl game?
I do. That's one of the goals of this football team, is to get themselves to a bowl game, and we've got a long ways away to be able to do that. It's hard to leave 2 out there on the field the way that we've left the 2 games that we've lost this year on the field. So we've got a lot of work to get to that point, but we've got our full league still to play. We still have a couple non-conference games to go through here as we move forward. One of them being tomorrow night. So we'll see. I know we're a better football team, but at this point you've got to win, and that's the next step for us.
Everyone in the WAC right now pretty much has 2 losses, and with Boise State moving on, is a WAC title in sights for the Aggies?
Well, I think everybody in the WAC right now would say they're in the running for the WAC title. And even if they've played 1 conference game, they're 0-1 or they're 1-0 if they've played, and we're 0-0 in the WAC, and we'll remain that way for 2 more weeks. So we play Wyoming next week. So until we get into our WAC schedule, none of those questions are going to be solved within the WAC conference, but that's what everybody plays for, and there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be playing for it, just like everybody else in the WAC conference is.
What's the message, though, that Utah State sends, because you have played very well through 3 games? This is a team that can almost be expected to go to a bowl game, should contend for a WAC title. For a team that hasn't gone to a bowl game for so many years to say, hey, we can be the best team in the WAC, what message does that send?
Well, I think it's a very good message. It helps us in a lot of areas, from recruiting. It helps us. It helps the kids in the program. I think it helps the boosters. It helps the fans. We had a tremendous crowd at Colorado State. I mean, it was a great crowd, and that's another part of it that's disheartening when you're that close with such a great crowd. What's going to flip it? But I think the message that we're sending, real simple, is that we're going to be a football program that plays hard, plays the right way. Works in the off-season the right way, but most importantly, we have 3 areas we always look to excel as a program, and that's academically and socially 1 and 2, and then really the football field is 3 for us. But right now, we're being judged by what we're doing on the football field, and we're looking to take the steps in the right direction to get more victories.
If you had to do it over again, you still go for 2?
Absolutely, no question. Yeah, no, I wouldn't change that for a minute. And we've been aggressive since we've been here as a staff, and I believe in being aggressive. And it's something I felt at that moment, and I still believe in that. And I just believe that if you're going to change a culture, you got to be aggressive in changing a culture, especially when you're playing a sport like this. And sitting back, and there's a lot of things that go into making that decision. It's not just a knee-jerk reaction that you turn around and make, but I would absolutely make that decision again. And I would believe, just like I felt then, that we're going to get it done. And I believe if it comes up again, we may pull it out again, and away we go.
If Robert Turbin has a night like that, I don't know if there's a coach in college football that wouldn't go for 2. Talk about Robert Turbin.
Yeah, Robert Turbin is a tremendous, tremendous young man. And first of all, when I say that young man, quality leader, unbelievably devoted to his family and what drives Robert Turbin, able to come back from an injury. He's a mentor to not just football players, but to athletes and to students at Utah State. He's kind of our poster child and ambassador of our program. So, but on the football field, he's a competitor. He's very driven. He wants to excel, and he wants to be the best. And a lot of people say that, I want to be the best. But Robert Turbin, that he says it, and that's what he really truly wants. So that's been a wonderful young man for me to be able to coach and to see what he's overcome in life, and then see what he's overcome with his injury. No surprises that he's as successful as he is.
After you had DeAndre Burrell, you throw in a true freshman and say, hey, we're going to go to SEC country and play the defending champs, and he's done a great job through with the first 3 games.
Yeah, Chuck, he has, and he's game 1 was probably his easiest game as far as from just things going his way, making the throws and making some unbelievable plays and doing some things. And as people learn more about your offense and they scout you and they understand who you are, they try obviously to take away what your strengths are and force you to get better at your weaknesses. And I think we felt a little bit of that in the 3rd game, especially against Colorado State. And we didn't throw the ball very well at all in that football game, and we ran the ball successfully. But we need to have a little bit more open up the offense a little bit. It'll help us as a football team. But Chucky is a tremendous young man, and to do what he's done as a true freshman, not being here in January, he was an early graduate. He walked in here in July, and was the first time he was with us. He's handled the situation so well, with everything that comes with that, from living in a new environment to a new city to new roommates to being the quarterback, and now the starting quarterback of a team of young men that I've known, for 2 months. Chucky's known those kids now for, so it gets. Speaks a lot for Chucky Keaton and the way he was raised, quite frankly, to do what he's doing.
How have you seen the BYU football program change with Bronco Mendenhall? Because, you saw them as an assistant at Utah as well.
Yeah, as you walk through the history of BYU, it's a little different analogy I could use, but as we just played Colorado State, and I played Colorado State and I played BYU for years and years and years. I think in quality programs and winning programs and programs with tradition, a lot changes, but a lot still stays the same, if you will. And I think that's true at Colorado State, and I really believe that's true at BYU. Every head coach is going to put his own touch on things. He's going to have his own little dynamic of what he may do on defense or what he may turn around and do on offense. But when you sit back and you look at BYU, you've got a team that's number 1 is expected to win, number 2 is expected to play at a high level. They're always going to be able to recruit tremendous athletes because of the church gives them the opportunity. There's I say it all the time. There's Cougar football players that walk out of the hospital with a binky in their mouth, and that's where they're going no matter what happens. And it's good for them. It's a great thing to be able to have, and it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to get those young men in the program. But Bronco, tough-minded. I've known Bronco for a long time, and he's a worker. He's very self-driven. Game of football is very important to him, but he also cares for kids, and I think that's why Bronco and I kind of have we don't talk every week or whatever, but we have enough of a relationship to know that we have great respect for one another, and I think a lot of the things that we believe in coaching are the same, and he puts kids first, and that's always my first thing that I believe in. So BYU has always been I've grown up since I was that big, 4 years old, walking in the stadium at Utah, and season tickets my parents had forever. So obviously to say that I grew up a BYU fan is not a true statement. So I was on the other side of the fence for that. But you do gain respect of BYU as you play them through the years.
Another thing you two have in common is that you're both head coaching a team and you're also the defensive coordinator. Both of you made that decision here in the last year. It was actually after the Utah State game the Broncos said, I need to be the defensive coordinator. What factored into your decision?
Really the best thing for us and our staff and for the kids in the program. It's hard. It's very difficult. It's really not something I can sit back and say that I want to do for a long, long time. I would like to see us transition as a staff, and I think there's things that you miss out when you do that, no matter how you cut it, at least for me. You know, Bronco may be surrounded by 6 other guys that can help him do stuff. I don't have that ability to be able to do that and have a big support staff around me to do the daily duties that I need to do as a head coach. But this year, I'm doing it. I just felt with our coaching staff, it gave us the ability to have 5 coaches on offense, 5 coaches on defense, with me being one of them on the defensive side of the ball. And you know, our staff is not as big as some of the other staffs in the country. So it was just a decision that I made simply for the kids to try to put them in the best position to be able to win.
So you just give up sleep, right?
Yeah, we give up quite a few things, and yeah, there's a few things that you do give up to do it, and it's a little bit strenuous, but it's well worth doing right now.
You'll play in a stadium tomorrow named after a Utah State alum, but you're going to be the away team. Is that kind of weird?
Yeah, you know, I've been in this stadium enough to know what's going to go on and what to expect and how to react. But you know, Lavelle is a special guy, and again, I don't talk to Lavelle a lot, but I know that I can call him if I need to. And he came and spent some time with our team a year ago, and really left a special message with us, and told us one of the things we need to do is to be able to defend our home turf if we're going to turn around the program. And our kids remember that, and they remember what he meant to Utah State, and what you know, he does have a special spot in his heart. And I know who he's cheering for tomorrow, though. I do know that much. So he's a Cougar when it comes to that game, I believe.
But we can hold him responsible to Utah State winning last year, because he said defend your home turf and you beat BYU.
That's fine, exactly. Yeah, we can do that if you want to. But he's a great man. He's a legend, and you know, it's. I love my opportunity when I get an opportunity to sit down and just listen to him. I don't talk much. I just want to listen when I get around him to see if I can steal some of his knowledge.
How do you look back now on your opportunity to be a head coach?
You know, lucky. I feel like I'm in a tremendous spot. I feel like it's an administration. I feel like it's a fan base. I feel like it's Aggie Nation wants to be good. I think it's been, you know, down for so long, if you will, that it's something it's important. And for me, I guess you take a job. This whole thing has become much more than a job to me. It's not just. It's not. I really believe that at the end of the day, I get this thing flipped and get it where it needs to be. And me personally, and I don't like to talk about myself when it comes to football, but you know, I'd like to get it turned around and get it consistent and a solid winner. And you know, I'd really like to stay there as long as I can and then ride off into the sunset, because I don't know how. I can't do it. I can't be a head coach at 3 different places. I can't move from here to here to there, and maybe that's a fault of mine. But I put so much into it, and so much. It means so much to me that it's really all I think about. That my family is what I have, and my kids and the kids on the football team are all my kids. So, but it's a great opportunity. I love where I'm at, and there's good days, there's bad days, there's hard days, but it's a special place, and I look forward to waking up every morning, going to work, and trying to make these people proud of us in all 3 of the areas I talked about. And I believe right now, socially and academically, we are winning bowl games and we're competing for championships. Now we've just got to get ourselves in that position on the football field, which we have not shown yet.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.